Hey, Star Tribe. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. You have someone in your energy who is the Page of Swords. The page. It's time to turn the page and burn some sage. Oof. This person secretively looks down on you because you have more than them. You have more to offer than them. You have financial freedom, or you're about to be financially free. This person does whatever they can to cloud your energy so that you don't see yourself clearly. So that you don't see yourself as the star that you truly are. Self-sacrificing. You sacrifice yourself in many different ways just by being with this person, and you might not be totally aware of it. This person doesn't want you to win. They don't want you to win. They don't want you to thrive. They don't want you to meet your goal. They want to take everything away from you. They don't see you as something great. Because they know that they themselves could never be great. They could never be as good as you. So they try to cloud your judgment so that you don't see yourself, so that you don't see the greatness within. You are a light being. You have the power to possess. You possess all of the power. And so that's why they constantly need to take it from you in ways that, subtle ways that you might not understand. It's really confusing in the beginning, and it doesn't make any sense that someone like this gets a thrill out of your negative reactions. They get off on seeing you all miserable, depressed, stressed, and hopeless. Body aches, feeling like suicidal and shit, feeling like you need, a lot of people, it's amphetamines, could be alcohol, uppers and downers, something to get up, something to go to bed, just to feel something, because this person takes away all of your feelings at a certain point. You get to a point where you can't feel anymore. Or they are your only sense of feeling without your acknowledgement of knowing that they took all the feelings out of you and they're reflecting who you really are back to you as a mask. When they're in their happiest state, like, you have those moments where you're like, wow, he or she was so exciting today. He was so good to me today. And it never lasts. It never lasts. Never lasts for more than a day usually. But everybody's situation is different. You've come across somebody who doesn't want you to shine. They know you're self-righteous. You know right from wrong. You do good. They do everything that they can to make you feel like they are the same. but they are not the same at all. They are not even close. Two opposite people. But they fake it till they make it. They're like the epitome of faking it till you make it. Where they fake it so much that they even believe sometimes that they're a good person. They're constantly doing things behind your back without your knowledge. They could be saying things like, oh, I'm paying. It could be even something as simple as I'm paying my rent today. Or I'm going to the bank. Or let's say you're working a late night shift. They'll say something like, I'm gonna go play a game, whatever, like a football league or something like that, an indoor league, whatever, something like that. When in all reality, they could have a whole wife on the side on those nights, a whole family on the side. Let's say you work every Saturday night. You have this plan to hang out with this person every Friday night, and that's set in stone, you know. All right. This person makes up lies. You might have wishful thinking. Because you believe what they say. You see their highest potential, I guess. You see the good in them. All right? They haven't shown you the worst of them. And it usually has to get to the point where you do see the worst in them in order for you to walk away. This person doesn't have any strength or power at all. And they see the spark in you. Bear with me, there's a lot to unpack here. I need to take my time because there's so much coming through. All right, so this person has you in a position here where you have to make an option here. It's been going on through why am I stuttering so much? All right, it's just because it's a hard concept to grasp. Okay? This person needs to have complete control over you in order for you to be in a relationship with this person. It'll happen slowly, but you'll notice that you aren't allowed to make decisions. They have to decide on everything. Most things. They put you in a crossroads here where you have to decide, do you want to choose yourself or do you want to choose them? Because if you choose them, you can never choose yourself. You can't complete the goal that you want if you have someone like this taking away they take away your pure essence. They got you so worried about them constantly, 24/7, to the point where you don't have any time to focus on yourself. You don't have any time to give back to yourself. to enjoy yourself, to just like embrace what God gives to you. Embrace that you have God within you, that you are connected to the universe. They try to take you off of your throne. I'm hearing demasculate. If you're a man, they try to demasculate you. This is for both genders, though. They don't want you to see yourself as this thriving lady with this beautiful bird in her hand, just enjoying the fruits of her labor. They want to make you feel like you owe something, like you owe them something all the time. The blame game is a huge one. They blame you for everything. Every time they flip out on you and get so fucking mad at you, it's like, oh, it's your fault because you missed that turn. That's why I flipped out. Seeing like you driving on the road, you're looking for a parking spot in this busy city. You're going out, okay? You're going out tonight. And your significant other that you're with, or this said person, whatever situation it is, they just like flip the fuck out on you randomly over stupid shit because you missed a parking spot. And it's like there's fucking 10 cars behind you, and you can't even see the fucking entrance. It's a busy, crowded night with heavy cars on the road. Little things like that. And they totally flip the fuck out on you. They might even leave you in the car. Because, okay, they flip out on you and you get so pissed that you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you going to talk to me like that? So you sit your ass in the car. And then they go to walk into the club or whatever without you. And you let them because you're like, fuck no. I'm not tolerating this shit. Just an example. I'm going to move on because I don't want to make this too personalized. It's just an example. It's just an example. They always put you in harm's way. It's like every time you're with them, something bad happens. Or like there's always something. There's always something that happens. Whether it's a fight, whether it's them penning people up against you so that you're isolated all the time, so that you feel like you're crazy all the time, so that you feel like you don't want to go out with people because you feel like they're thinking of that one night where he or she made up this whole false persona about you, this false story about you. That's how they isolate you. It's their way or the highway. But they make you feel like definitely like you need them. But they try to knock you off balance here. They try to completely... I have Temperance in reverse. They always try to make you feel less than. Like, how could you do that? Are you kidding me? Why would you ever say that to me? When you might have called them... Maybe one time you called them a pussy ass bitch. Because they are. You got mad one night because they were trying to take you away from your true power, and you said, you know what? Fuck you, you pussy ass bitch. Something like that. But you don't do something like this out of the ordinary. This is time upon time upon time upon time of you being completely shat on by this person day in and day out. You're the punching bag. This person could get their family involved when you have arguments. Maybe that same night that you called them this name, they called their grandmother over or their mother over that same night. Maybe you were under the influence, something like that, okay? It doesn't have to be the same exact thing that I'm saying. This is just the energy reading. They put you in a place where you have no other option. Like, you're just stuck. You have no choice but to just stay trapped in their disillusionment. It's because it's an illusion, but you don't see it as an illusion when you're in it. You don't see what they're actually doing because they're really good at making you feel loved because it's all that you know of. It's your ideal love because it's what you were raised with. You had to, like, whatever parent you were closer with, they remind you of them, even though it's a toxic parent. Or maybe this parent isn't around and they remind you of this parent that you never had a relationship with. The chaos is familiar to you, so it makes sense why, like, when you're with them and you start to find your balance, like, it's just not possible because this person sabotage. I just keep hearing sabotage. They just completely knock you off your rocker. They make you the worst version of yourself. Like, in the beginning, it's all flowers and candy, but you notice, like, towards the end of the relationship, or you really notice it, like, if you ever try to get sober, that's when things get really bad, because then you're really feeling their energy because you're sober. All right? And then you always go back to the drug or the substance because it feels like you need it around this person. And you think it's you. You think it's you. But it's just the person that you're with. You have to be fucked up around them. Anxiety meds is huge. Like, any drug, amphetamines, stimulants, depressants. Like, I'm hearing you might need both. Like, just to function. Because this person, it's like they take what's in your cup and they pour it into their own. Because they don't have their own aura. They don't have their own frequency. They have to take everything out of you. They have to make you lifeless so that you're reliant on drugs and alcohol just to function. Just to be okay. Because you're living in a living hellhole being around this person. Now, this could be a past situation or it could be your current situation. This is giving you freedom to let you know that you're not crazy. Yeah, okay, I got needle in a haystack. I feel like you're the needle in a haystack. It's impossible to get out of. It's like you always end up back with this person. I'm getting I'm supposed to be speaking with someone who's currently going through it, not someone who already got out of it. Okay, so this person is narcissistic, and if you don't know what a narcissist is, it's someone that wears and portrays a false persona. You see who they really are on those nights when they do flip out on you and they do lose their shit. And they have this blank stare on their face. It's like cold. I can't even replicate it if I tried. This cold look on their face whenever they get into one of those moods and they're just like, and they just stay like that. And they don't say a word. They have a monster within them, and it only comes out A lot of times it's when you move in with them. That's when you start to see it. This person could have left you on the nights that you really needed them to go sleep with someone else. You didn't know it at the time. But every time that they leave you, they're going off to somebody else, because what they do is they constantly need an energy source because they don't have their own energy. So if you're in a fight with them or if you're not talking to them, you bet they're with somebody else. You won't know it at the time until afterwards. Okay? Let's say you go to a music festival, if you're into that kind of stuff. You cut the night early because you're on your period or something. Sorry, guys, if you're watching. Not that you don't care, but I'm just saying. This is for male or female. But let's say you cut the night early because you're on your period, you have cramps, you're like, babe, I'm going back to the tent because I'm not feeling well. I don't really want to party right now. All right? They walk you back to the tent. You fall asleep early, whatever. You don't think anything of it. All right? Or whatever. Maybe they come back to the tent. You know, they might have said something like, oh, I hope it was okay that, oh, like I just danced with like one of our friends for a minute. That's cool, right? And you're probably like, I mean, that's not the coolest because like whatever, but you just let it slide. Like you let little things slide like that, okay? The next morning, you're like, huh, this is weird, but you don't notice it at the time. At the time, you're like, you're just frustrated, but you notice afterwards who they really are. You know, they could have left you again in the morning. Like, you slept with them that night, and then in the morning, you wake up, you're going to go hit the showers and, like, go do whatever you got to do, you know? Like, and prepare for the next day, you know? Whatever. This could be any scene, though. It doesn't have to be this situation. And then you text them, like, in the morning, and they left, and you don't know where they are. And you're like, what? And you don't think anything of it. You just think, like, oh, they just need their space. But it's deeper than that, okay? You might find out a year down the road that that girl that he danced with, he probably most likely slept with her. Like, this is what they do. They give you an ounce of the truth. If they ever give you something that they would never tell you, they give you an ounce of the truth. A little fickle, a little speck of the truth. Just so that they feel better about themselves because they admitted to something, but not to all of it. All right? They keep you as a needle in the haystack. And you are stuck in that confusion because you do believe them. These are the type of people. Now, trigger warning. Not that it matters. That same night that they were dancing with that girl, came back into the tent, you know, slept with you afterwards. It's possible. They could have even went and hooked up with a dude in someone else's tent that morning when you didn't know where the heck they were. It's just what these people do. It just shows who they really are. They're evil. They're pure. The purest form of evil is a narcissist. And they play it right in your face. But you find out eventually, like once you actually find out how these people really are, there's no going back. But that's why they need you on drugs. Because if you're on drugs, you're less likely to suspect them of anything. When you're at, for example, that's why I had to put the festival thing in example. Like when you're in that scene, when you're on these drugs, you know, you don't question it as much because you're having a great time. You're in the moment, you're vibing, you're living. Like you don't think like that. You don't think like that until you start to think more logically about the whole situation. That's the thing, like being on drugs and being in a relationship, it really clouds your intuition about that person. It really binds you to them. It sets the attachment. It sets the tone, you know, and it's most of the time it's like you only really enjoy yourself around that person when you are under the influence. So it just causes this whole circle of highs and lows, and you fight, you make up, you do the drugs, you drink, you whatever, and you're just back in this cycle, like this obsessive cycle with this person, and you feel like you're meant to be with them. But they're just a piece. They're just a piece of the puzzle. They're just a part of your story. A lot of us keep attracting these types of people until we do have a more clear mind, until we stop using substances, and I'm not saying all substances are bad. I got a mushroom on my wall, I'm not, I'm all for having a good time at the right time in the right place, okay? Anyways, I'm making this too personal, but maybe not. Anyways, they try to keep you off balance, and they know, like, obviously, like, you're dysregulated and a little discombobulated when you're using substances, so they're always going to be so for that. They're always going to persuade you into doing that with them, obviously, because you like it anyway. We all have a time and a place when you're young, and whatever, it don't even matter. We all want to feel good. Let's just put it like that. We all want to feel good. But around these types of people, it's like that's all you want to do around these people. That's all that you're interested in. Because you feel so off whack around them. You just feel like you can't be your full self unless you're on something a lot of the time. That's how you know too. You just feel like you can't be free. You can't break loose. You can't. It's like you're always watching what you do and what you say around them, because you don't know when the next time it's going to be when they flip the fuck out. It's like you're walking on eggshells. You have to cautiously be careful of every single word that you say. They're so unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do. That's why they're scary. Like, think about what they're capable of, Anyway, this is a long message. I wanted to make this shorter, but that's all I got for you guys today. Trust your gut about this person if you are feeling like you might be involved with a narcissist. Sensing that you already know, but you might feel like trapped. You might feel stuck because you might feel like there's no other option. Like, you live together, you could be married, could be like have to do with finances, or you just feel totally like you can't live without them. Like, there's a lot to it. It's not that easy to just leave, But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate every view that I get. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.